Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another weekly chat video. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my weigh-in results. I'm going to share meal prep review and also do our normal little chat that we have at the end. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kristi. I'm currently following the WW Blue program, but I do provide the points for all three programs on my channel, and I also provide calories as well. But you don't need to be on any type of weight loss journey to get tips and ideas from But you don't need to be on any type of weight loss journey to get tips and ideas from my channel, and I would love to have you as part of our family. So if this is your first time watching one of my weekly chat videos, this video is not really planned like my meal preps and my meal plans. You know, I don't really go into it with having an idea of exactly what I'm going to talk about. I usually always share my weigh-in results and my meal prep review, and then I just always talk about something at the end. It's really not planned, I just kind of wing it. So sometimes I end up all over the place, so just to let you know that ahead of time. So moving right into weigh-in results, as many of you know, my philosophy this year is I don't have to do everything right, I just have to do something right. And my plans on the scale are to average a half a pound a week. That way it allows me to just work more on healthy habits and not focus on the scale. So that's what I did this week. What did I do right this week? Water again. I stayed doing good with my water. And one thing I have found is that, sorry if you hear my bird in the background, I moved him into the bedroom, but he's still been kind of a little bit squawky today. One of the good things I found when drinking water is I tend to just drink water. I tend to crave the water and not Diet Coke. So I am a Diet Coke drinker, but I have pushed myself back to where I really only drink one a day, if that. So basically what I've done is told myself if I drink water during the day, then I can have a Diet Coke at night. But I've found that I've really not been craving the Diet Coke. And I noticed that it's kind of one of those things, you know, we all talk about these all or nothing things. The Diet Coke is kind of one of the same things. If I'm not drinking my water and I'm on the Diet Coke kick, it's like, the more Diet Coke I drink, the more I crave. And then the more bloated I also feel and the more stomach issues I have because I know it's not the greatest for you to drink. So I've really been doing good on my water this week. My tracking, I did good this week. I had a couple days that I didn't track my breakfast and lunch, but it was days that I was meal prepping, so I knew what I was having that day. I knew how many points it was. I typically have always like to pre-track. So because I do a meal plan and I pretty much know what I'm going to be having for my meals each day, I like to at nighttime just go into my tracker and track my meals the night before. So I know what I'm going to be having that next day. That way they're already in there, but there were a couple nights that I was just so busy editing and I didn't do that. But I knew how many points it was that day, so I wasn't too worried about that. But I did good. I didn't get my steps in again. I'm still working on that, just one thing at a time. Like I said, I don't have to do everything right, just do some things right. And then the other thing that I worked on this week was my nighttime snacking, which I'm actually going to talk about. That's going to be the topic that I'm going to talk about towards the end, is kind of like stress eating, habit eating, things like that. So how did I do on the scale? I felt like I'd probably lose a good, you know, like maybe a pound or something. Y'all, I was down 2.6 pounds. Very, very happy. So I was 198.8 last week, and then this week I was 196.2. So I am on it. That's 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks. They say 3 weeks to make a habit, right? 3 weeks in a row. And I love the mindset I have. I love that when I'm getting on the scale, I'm not like, oh, please, please, please be down, be down. I don't like that. But honestly, it didn't matter what the scale said because I felt so good and I did so good this week, and I knew that I was working on the healthy habits, so I'm very pleased with that. My steps I do need to work on, and again, thank you all for including me in those step challenges on Fitbit. I am on the hunt for a treadmill, and I'm looking for a treadmill that you can actually slide under your desk. My biggest problem is I just don't take time for myself to get my steps in. I'm working out of the home Monday through Friday, and then I'm sitting pretty much all day during those, especially now. I used to at least get up because we'd have meetings here and there. Well, now all our meetings are on Zoom. So I sit in my office. I don't even leave my office to go to somebody else's office. So I'm sitting all day, and then I come home, we get dinner going, and then I'm usually either filming or editing. And when I'm doing my editing, I'm just sitting down with my laptop doing that. So I'm trying to find a treadmill that I can fit under my desk at home so that while I'm editing, I can do the treadmill. Or when I'm doing these videos, I can be on the treadmill while I'm talking to you. That would be great to do for these videos. So I'm feeling great so far this year. So make sure to let me know in the comments how you're all doing. And again, I don't necessarily need to know what the scale said, but let me know any non-scale victories that you had this week. So moving on to meal prep review. Everything was awesome. So for breakfast this week, we had the chocolate chip pancake bake. I miss that. It's been so long since I had that, and I forgot how good that is. Love that one. And then for lunch prep, I did that taco pasta, or taco spaghetti, whatever you want to call it, taco bake, whatever. That was awesome. I loved that one so much that I want to make it like for Sunday dinner this weekend. Like, I really loved that. And Tiffany, I want to thank you for this suggestion. Tiffany said that she made this and it was really good. And she said that instead of water, she used broth. And instead of the cheese, she used just Parmesan cheese. And she said it was really good. So Tiffany, I think I'm going to try it that way when I make it Sunday. I think that that'll be really good. And then for my dinner kits this week, I did something different and did slow cooker freezer meals, and those turned out really good. I actually started filming those, and I don't know, I need to see if maybe I can pull clips from the prep video where I put them all together and then kind of put them into one video. I'm going to see what I can do on that. I did film 2 of them though, and I didn't think to bring my light into my kitchen, and it was dark time, so I noticed that the picture is really kind of orange, so I don't know if I can save that film or not. So I'll see what I can do to put those together. But the Skinny Taste ones, those tacos, those are really good. The honey Dijon pork chop recipe, I put a little note pop up on the screen on my meal prep video because that was way too much dressing. That type of dressing was way too sweet. So I was using that in place of honey and Dijon mustard. But if you use just 1/3 of a cup, it should be good. It was good, like the pork was good and the potatoes weren't bad, but it's the sweetness of the carrots was just too much, way too much that I couldn't even eat my carrots. It just, that dressing really brought out the sweetness of the carrots. So I would definitely change that. And then the hamburger soup, we're actually having that one tonight. I can smell it right now and it smells so delicious. So we're having that tonight. So what I want to talk about this week is kind of like stress eating or habit eating or eating out of boredom. So I saw an article that Weight Watchers had on their app that talked about if you're a stress eater and blah, 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 blah. And anytime I've ever seen articles for stress eating, I never really read into them too much because I never really considered myself a stress eater. I'm more of like a boredom eater. I eat when I'm bored, or I'm a habit eater. I eat just because it's habit. And that is exactly what my nighttime snacking has become. My nighttime snacking is complete habit. I snack whether I'm hungry or not. And it's become where the habit is for the crunch. So I'm craving crackers and chips and pretzels, that type of snacks. I'm not craving fruit. I'm not craving, my normal pudding snack. I'm craving carbs that aren't the greatest for you. So what I realized was it is really a habit. So my husband and I have gotten in the horrible habit of retreating to the bedroom after, we'll sit out on the porch at night and then we come in the house and we get our snacks and we go to the bedroom and we watch a movie or watch, some comedy show or something before we go to bed. And we have unfortunately gotten into that habit where it's just a habit that we go to the bedroom, the snacks come in, and we put the TV on. So a lot of you know my husband used to be on WW. He and I started this journey together in January of 2019, and he lost about 70 pounds. He's lost all his weight. He doesn't have any more to lose. So he's pretty much been in maintenance. He more or less does intuitive eating now. He doesn't track his points. He doesn't track calories. He just more or less knows what he can and can't eat. And of course it helps because I'm prepping his breakfast and his lunch and I'm making dinners, or he'll cook on the grill, you know, something that's lean. So he pretty much has it under control where he pretty much can do the intuitive eating. So he knows that he can easily fit snacks in at night, and he is more about the carb snacks, you know, like Chex Mix and even chocolate. He's like kind of a nighttime chocoholic. That doesn't really bother me. Mine is the chip type things. So what I have found that I was doing is it may even be where I do just have popcorn, or I bring in a pudding, you know, or I bring in some fruit with some whipped topping on it or something like that that's within my points. But I found what I was doing is because he's sitting right there in the bed and he's got his, you know, bowl of Chex Mix or whatever, I found that I was snacking, oh, let me just have a couple of those. And then those couple led to more because I'm sitting there watching TV, not paying attention, not counting them out and portioning them. So that's why it's very important when I meal prep, I always try to portion out my snacks. But unfortunately, when it's my husband's snacks and I had no intent that I was going to eat those, that's when I end up going wrong. So what we did this week is we made some changes, and we decided that we were not going to do the snacking in the bedroom because I realized that it's become a habit. It's just a habit for us to go in there and snack. I'm not hungry. I'm just snacking because it's habit. So now after, you know, we come in from outside, we sit on the porch at night or whatever. Well, lately we haven't really been sitting out there too much because it's been cold here in Florida. Yes, I'm wearing another sweatshirt, Deb. But we'll sit out on the porch or whatever, and then when we come in, we've made it a point to watch TV in the living room before we go to the bedroom. So we get any snacks we have to have them in the living room, and then when we go in the bedroom to watch TV, there's no snacks, which really there shouldn't be snacking in the bedroom anyways, honestly. So we did that, and let me tell you, I wasn't even snacking at all. Like there were nights that I would come in, I would just refill my water, or I'd make a cappuccino, which by the way, my coffee maker, I got the Ninja specialty. Some of you may have seen it at the end of a grocery haul video I did a couple weeks ago. I think it was last week's. I love that coffee maker. I've been making cappuccinos at night. Like I'll have one cappuccino with some almond milk and my creamer, and oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm planning on doing a review video of that coffee maker if anybody's interested. But anyway, back to where I was talking about. So I'll come in, I'll just get my water or make a cappuccino, and I'll sit down, we'll watch TV, and I don't even snack. Sometimes I might grab like a handful of fruit or something, but I didn't snack at all. And I can see my lighting is kind of getting bad. The sun's kind of changing places, so sorry if the lighting's getting bad right now. So anyway, that's what I did. So it worked. Obviously, the scale went down, and I feel so good by not having all that nighttime snacking. I just feel a lot better. So that's when I realized that a lot of it is habit, and sometimes you just need to change your surroundings to get out of that habit. So what I'm going to do is for 3 weeks, because they say it takes 21 days to make a habit, for 3 weeks, we are only going to be snacking in the living room. And then if it gets to the point that we start snacking in the bedroom again, hopefully I'll be out of that habit and it won't bother me, and I won't be grabbing, you know, because when we're out here on the couch, he's sitting right next to me. And I don't reach over and grab his Chex Mix anymore, even when we're out here. So I think it's just changing that surrounding has helped to change that habit. I'm gonna try and move up a little bit, see if that will help the sun. I felt like that, yeah, all right. Okay, that'll be a little better. For a couple minutes anyways, I'm getting to the end anyway. Let me know in the comments whether you fall into any of those categories. Are you a stress eater, boredom eater, habit eater? Let me know in the comments. And something else I wanted to bring up, somebody had mentioned to me that they had to skip dinner the other day because they had eaten all their points for breakfast and lunch and they didn't have any points left for dinner. So I've mentioned this before, you don't have to skip dinner. There are so many 0-point foods or low calorie foods, if you're counting calories, that are healthy choices that you can eat and not have to skip a dinner. I can't imagine skipping dinner. Honestly, I can't. It's just, there's no way. But one thing that it did remind me, it reminded me of something one of my Weight Watcher leaders years ago when I did Weight Watchers and went to meetings, something one of our leaders said to us. So for me, for example, my dinner is pretty much like my most important meal. That's the meal that I usually have the most points with. Sometimes my dinners can be up 10 to 15 points depending what I'm having. And that's one thing about the meals that I do. You see that a lot of the meals that I do, I strive for having meals that are family friendly. I don't want anybody to have to be eating something and then their family eating something else. So it was always very important. When I did Weight Watchers years ago and my children were younger, I never wanted to eat something different than them. That was very important for us to sit at the table as a family and all eat as a family together and eat the same things. So I never wanted to be sitting there only eating chicken and vegetables while they're eating something else. That's why you'll notice a lot of my meals that I make, I try to make them family friendly. So when this person said this to me, it reminded me something of what my old Weight Watchers coach once said to us. So it was the same situation. Somebody said that they had used all their points for breakfast and lunch and they didn't have enough points for dinner. And she said that if you are one that's like that and you struggle in that area where you overeat at dinner, start your points with dinner. So right now we get up in the morning and we have a new day. The day starts and we do our breakfast, our lunch, our dinner, and we track throughout the day. She said, start your tracking at dinner. On your new piece of paper, it starts with dinner, then your nighttime snack, then your breakfast, and it ends with lunch. And the reason for that is that way, if you've overeaten at dinner time, you're a lot more forgiving of yourself and you're able to make better adjustments for breakfast and lunch than you are at dinner. And that made so much sense to me because I can definitely see where if I have overeat on dinner or had a higher point dinner, I can easily make adjustments for breakfast and lunch. I can easily have eggs, which are 0 points. I can have a salad for lunch. I have no problem making my breakfast and lunch lower point at all. But it is sometimes harder to make my dinner lower point. So that's an option. If you're struggling and by the time you get to dinner, you're finding that you've used a lot of your points, try doing that. Try tracking starting at nighttime, starting with your dinner and then tracking through the next day and see what happens. So I want to end this with a quote that really kind of hit me. This quote is from Edward Stanley and it says, "Those who have no time for healthy eating will sooner or later have to find the time for illness." That's a hit. That made me think. When I read that, that really hit me. And I really do need to pay attention to, some of the things that I'm putting in my body on a regular basis. I'm going to let you know right now, I will probably never be a clean eater in the true form of a clean eater. I think 80% of my diet is clean eating, but then I have 20% that's not. And I don't know that I can sustain that. So at this point, that's why I'm just trying to make small changes. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Make sure to let me know in the comments how you're doing. Thank you all so much for watching. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe. I'll talk to you in my next video. I'm Kristi and I'm Planning Us Healthy.